Hey, this is Dave Hawk with Allies. I'm here today with McCrae Hepler with Eagle Gate Title.
Hey guys.
Today we're going to learn a little bit more about what is this mysterious part of the real estate transaction that maybe you're wondering about. Maybe you're a first-time home buyer and you want to know about that stuff. But before we get too far into that, I'd like McCrae to introduce himself to our audience and a little bit more about himself and about Eagle Gate Title.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm McCrae Hepler, born and raised here in St. George, Utah. I went to Dixie High, Dixie College. I'm a lifer. I love Southern Utah. I'm a sports head. I love mountain biking. I love golfing. Those are the sports that I've resorted to now that I'm getting up there, and basketball and football aren't a daily thing anymore. So that's just a little bit about me. My business is Eagle Gate Title. We're the third party of the real estate transaction where the closing happens. You know, most people know what closing is on homes, especially around here. A lot of people these days are closing on homes.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy right now. So yeah, that's me.
And a lot of refinancing's been going on. So you guys just must be really, really busy right now.
No, it's been crazy. Because so anytime a title, most people don't know what a title company is. But we are the part that most people are familiar with, that when they say I'm closing on my home next week, they're closing at a title company. We're the third party in between all the parties. We work with the mortgage lenders, the realtors, builders in bringing it all together. And it all closes at our office. And so, yeah, between the refinancing, people building homes, buying homes, you know, the selling and buying of homes, we're involved in every single one.
And, you know, one thing I was thinking of too is what if somebody didn't have this done properly? This is something that I think people need to learn. What would happen? What bad things might happen to them if they used a title company that wasn't thorough and stuff? How could that come back to haunt a home buyer at some point, or a property buyer?
Without getting too into it, because a lot of it could go right over someone's head. Old ownership, people that were on title that didn't get signed off title, that didn't agree to the sale of a home. If that doesn't get caught, then that person can come back and be like, hey, I actually own this property still, and it causes litigation. There's a lot of things that, if not done properly in the transfer of the sale, that could require a lot of headache that can be fixed, but headache post-sale if not done correctly.
And what do you think sets Eagle Gate apart to make sure that all this does go smoothly for the realtors you're working with, the home owners that you're working with? What sets you guys apart?
So the biggest thing in title and escrow and in real estate is systems. It's because everybody's crazy. Everyone's got movement everywhere. And so you can really get disorganized pretty easily because you have so many different things that you're managing. And so the biggest thing, and I think the biggest thing in business in general, is systems. But we really have a system in place to where we can over communicate. We can go over the top on things between our thoroughness of the work that we're doing, but then also with the communication with the clients, because that's the biggest thing, is people want to know what's going on, because it's buying a home, especially for first-time home buyers, can sometimes be stressful,
very overwhelming too,
and so the biggest thing is just being able to answer your phone and get back to people, even if you don't have answers right then. And that's why we just try to create that culture of being over the top with the customer service, because ultimately that's how we keep people coming back. Is we have to execute. There's a lot of things that we can't do to like solicit business, or we can't offer discounts, stuff like that. Or, you know, we can't advertise like that. And so for us, it's all about the execution and the relationships.
And you're expert at building relationships and that. And I know you are an advocate for Southern Utah. You care about this area. And one of the things I'm impressed with what you do is the videos that you make that talks about what's going on. Tell us a little bit more about those videos and How would people find those videos?
So monthly I send out a newsletter that talks about all the construction happening in town, mostly the new businesses, the restaurants, the hotels, the most of the exciting stuff that people want to hear. But even every single business that opens, I want to know about. One, because I like connecting with other business owners, and two, I like helping them. For new business owners, it's not easy opening a business.
Heck no.
So I love to be a help of that. And then also, it's just a value for the people that I do business with, because they are talking to people from all over the world that are wanting to come to St. George. And so the more that they can know about St. George and Southern Utah, the better they'll be in a position when they're talking to someone from, Minnesota, that's like, why should I come there? And so the newsletter goes over everything that's happening in Southern Utah. And then with that, I do a video each month highlighting one specific part of town, with drone footage and just explaining what's going where, pretty much. And there's a lot going on. Right
So
now.
basically, if you've got friends or family or somebody that's thinking of moving to St. George, one of the best resources they could go to are McCrae's videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and I can leave the links in the post. But yeah.
So one other thing I want to talk about too today is, I know you're much more than just a guy with a title company. You love sports and that, and you do a little bit of podcasts and things like
Yeah.
that. Just for fun, let's talk about that for a minute.
So what, the podcast?
Yeah,
Or the sport? I
all
mean,
the sports
I just
stuff
love
that you
talk.
do.
I just love talking about Southern Utah, talking about sports. I love making friends. That's why I love Allies so much, because I'm all about the relationship and the friendships. My whole life, my parents, when I was growing up, I was all over town, and it got to a point where then I started having people over all the time, which they liked more.
Yeah.
But I was all over town because I love meeting friends, and that's what I do in this. So that's why it's so easy for me to do what I do, and I love doing what I do, because for the most part, I'm dealing with friends, and that's what I love to do, and I love to talk sports too.
So I feel like if I'm a real estate agent and I'm looking for my go-to people,
Yeah.
you're one of those people, because you do truly become their friend and build a relationship.
Yeah.
And I know that you answer your phone and you
Yeah.
answer your text, and
They
that
know
sets you apart.
They know that they can count on me, because I do. I am, and my wife hates it, but my phone is connected to my hip, and I know that that's the difference maker. Because in business, you get busy, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. And the less that you can do that, the more reliable you are, and then people will just continue to come back to you. And I just try and go over the top with my friends. I mean, when a client becomes a friend, it just makes me want to go even more overboard for them, and I feel like that's what sets me apart.
Yeah, because it's in your business, like you were talking about, it's all just about relationship marketing.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is.
being able to deliver and execute on the
Yeah.
other end. But
Yeah, the front end
building
is all
that
the
skill.
relationship. The back end is you got to execute.
So tell everybody, McCrae, about what does Allies do for you and your company, and how does that fit into the grand scheme of things for you?
So yeah, I mean, when I got into this business, I already knew the importance of networking, based on a few other experiences I'd had growing up and books that I've read and things that I've done, and I knew that I wanted to get into the local, business community, and that's what Allies has really helped me do, is to be able to go and meet people that I wouldn't have probably met otherwise, from all industries, not just real estate. And to be able to connect. And I'm a young guy, and so that's what I've really loved from the beginning of Allies is I'm young and I have a lot to learn about business in general. And to be able to rub shoulders with some guys that have been in business for 20, 30, even 40 years, I can learn from them, but then I can also look at them as, as either mentors or people that I can look up to. And then, as I build the relationship and as I build their trust, then I can even start working with them, and they're influential. And there's a lot of positives with it if you approach it correctly.
Yeah, I think you've done a really good job with that. I've known you for a few years and watched you grow, and it's been exciting to see what Eagle Gate has done, and
Well, thanks.
your force in the real estate industry in this town, which is a very, very important industry to St. George and Southern Utah in general. So it's been a pleasure to have you with us here today,
Yeah.
McRae.
No,
And
it's a pleasure
just
being here.
want to remind everybody to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you can see even more of these videos. And we appreciate your time today. And
Thank you.
we'll see you
Appreciate
later.
it, Dave. Thanks, guys.